The damp air of the bayou had swelled the window. It would need more force than my bare hands could supply to open it. With a bit of elbow grease, I levered up the window frame. I jiggled the handle, but the door was locked. Pressed against the inside wall was a dusty desk covered in spiderwebs, and to top it, one thing lay undisturbed, a small folded document which I picked up, along with an inadvertent 8-legged companion. Ugh! Ghost stories and haunted treasures I could handle, but spiders gave me the creeps. With the gator disposed of, I turned my attention to the sack hanging from the crane. There was no apparent way to open it, but by the feel of it, it seemed to be filled with some kind of grain. The inside of the lumber mill smelled like sawdust and grease. Judging from the overgrown weeds, it clearly hadn't been used in a long time, and yet the lights remained on. I picked up the auger from the tool shelf. As I picked up the bottle, I anticipated what could be inside. A brine-stained treasure map, perhaps, or a scribbled plea from a castaway desperately awaiting rescue. Looking inside, I found it was empty. The only writing on it was the embossed glass letters of the Orangello Soda Company.
Hurry up with the barrels, Morris. We gotta get these unloaded before anyone sees us.
Are you sure this is a good idea, Musket? I don't think we should be using a church as our hiding place.
You're not being paid to think, Morris. You carry those barrels in here and let me worry about the theological implications. This place has been abandoned for decades. There's nobody around.
Nobody living, maybe. What if there's ghosts, boss?
Darn it, Morris. If brains was dynamite, you wouldn't have enough to blow your nose. Now get unloading. And keep an eye out for anyone snooping around.
What if someone catches us?
If anyone asks, we're the new clergy. We tell them these barrels are full of communion wine.
I thought we was rum runners, not wine runners, boss.
Communion rum, then.
Ah, gotcha.
Remember, St. Juniper's Church is a place to get closer to God. And if anyone questions our alibi, we make sure that happens.
The pair of rum runners looked like the human personifications of the dish and the spoon from Hey Diddle Diddle. The gangly spoon bossing around the rotund dish as it carried barrels effortlessly from the jalopy and into the church. As it turned out, nursery rhyme characters become a lot more intimidating once they have revolvers. Hello?
Yeah! God darn it! Don't sneak up on people like that. You frighten the dying daylights out of me.
He looked at me like he'd seen a ghost. Sorry, you seem a little jumpy.
I thought you were that pesky little girl again.
A little girl? That doesn't seem like a reason to be scared.
She's a terror. One of these days she's gonna give me a heart attack. Last week, she showed up with a doctor's note she'd forged, saying a man I'd buried that day was just a very deep sleeper. 7 hours I was out here digging him back up, at my age.
And was he sleeping?
Dead as a dodo. Just like that little girl will be if I get my hands on her. Who are you, anyway?
My name's Murphy McCallan. I've just arrived on the island.
Well, welcome, Mr. Murphy. I'm Edgar Kettle. Gravedigger, undertaker, coffin maker, and anything else that needs doing to keep this cemetery running.
Was the little girl named Mallory Wisp by any chance?
That's her. The peril in a pinafore. She got the whole town thinking I was burying people prematurely. I walked past the school the other day, and they'd made up a jump rope chant about me.
I'm looking for the treasure of Bellemore Manor.
Oh, a treasure hunter. Well, let me tell you something, young man. Don't even think about digging up my graveyard. There's no treasure buried here, and I'm already busy enough filling in the holes that are supposed to be here.
Do you know there were a couple of gentlemen up by the church?
Rum runners they are. Dealing with them is not in my job description. As long as they don't mix up the stiffs I'm burying with the stiff drinks they're smuggling, I'm keeping my nose out. Curiosity killed the cat, you know, and I really miss Mittens.
I best be running along.
Don't drop dead. I don't want anything else on my to-do list.
The barrels were far too heavy for me to lift, though that gorilla of a rum runner had been picking them up like they were cotton balls. The jalopy door was locked. How ironic that the rum runners would take care not to be the target of criminality. Wandering happily into the hideout of a pair of mobsters wasn't going to be a smart move. The barrels were far too heavy for me to lift, though that gorilla of a rum runner had been picking them up like they were cotton balls. The jalopy door was locked. The barrels were far too heavy for me to lift, though that gorilla of a rum runner had been picking them up like they were cotton balls. Using the auger, I drilled a small hole in the barrel, and out poured rum. I filled the bottle with rum pouring from the barrel. Relief washed over me at the realization that I'd done it without getting caught by the two rum runners.
Hey, Musket! There's someone out here!
Or so I thought.
Hey, fella, what do you think you're doing snooping around here? This is our church, you know, and it's closed.
I'm just here to do some praying. Mainly praying that I get out of this situation without a puncture wound.
He's being a wise guy, Musket.
Time to fill him full of lead.
But boss, it's bad luck to bump someone off in a churchyard.
Now, where'd you hear a nonsensical thing like that?
I thought churches was hallowed ground, where sin and immorality would face supernatural punishment in this world or the next.
Where do you get this stuff from? I told you, I do the thinking in this partnership.
The stories about Bellemore Manor are true. I saw the ghost bride inside the house.
Blast it, Murphy. Don't say I didn't warn you. This island has had its fair share of the macabre. The best way to deal with it is to leave well enough alone. Why are you searching for that treasure anyway?
Well, it's my job. The state's claim on that money runs out at 8 a.m., and I'm supposed to find it.
You seem pretty passionate about something that's just for work. What are the odds you draw an assignment like that?
Well, I might have made my own luck there. They wouldn't normally authorize an investigation so close to the statute of limitations running out, especially on a 30-year-old cold case. But thrust a stack of forms in front of the boss 5 minutes before clocking off on a Friday afternoon, and he doesn't care what he's signing.
Well, let's just hope he wasn't signing your death warrant.
Most of my investigations don't amount to more than counting paper clips in a municipal building or going cross-eyed over receipt rolls in a courthouse. When I found that old case folder tucked behind the filing cabinet, its only lead, a water-stained magazine, talking about a real-life haunted house, how could I pass it up? What do you think happened at Bellemore Manor?
Now, there's a tale I don't like to tell.
Can I persuade you to tell it anyway?
I have a feeling I ain't gonna get any rest until I do. You know about Miss Bellemore, the bride, engaged to the sailor? Nah, the way I hear, Mr. Rackham was over the moon with her. Such an upstanding fellow. I won't have a bad word said against him. Now, he realized that the sailor was going through terrible lengths to ensnare his bride, and Mr. Rackham tried to save her. I heard that the sailor cottoned on to this and tricked Rackham into giving the lady a gift. That's what made everything go topsy-turvy.
What was the gift?
There are places in the Caribbean that trade things more elusive than gold. Ungodly things.
Do you think the disappearance was caused by voodoo?
And that's what my mama used to say. If you're not careful, that stuff can go to your head.
Catch you later, Ned.
See you around, Mac.
What do you think of my fish?
That's a whopper. Hang it on the scale and let's see what it weighs. Doubt it'll be Squibb's record, though.
Good evening, Ned.
Hello again, Mac.
You didn't tell me the Spirit Queen was a riverboat.
Oh, sure. That thing's been moored up in the bayou with her keel kissing the mud for years. Witch doctor lives aboard her now. Claims to sell all manner of hoodoo and voodoo. But to believe that, you need to be dumber than the bachelor in New Orleans, throwing beads at the Sisters of Mercy.
I spoke with Dr. Moray. He thinks we can make contact with the ghosts.
Moray is a charlatan and a fool. Only got into hoodoo and voodoo a few years ago. Before that, he was an actor over at the Calliope Theater, and not a very good one. He's the only person I know who directed and starred in a one-person production of The Pirates of Penzance. And that's because all the rest of the cast dropped out rather than work with him. He's always been searching for respect and recognition. Who would have known he'd find it by living in the swamp and reeking of incense?
Catch you later, Ned.
See you around, Mac. Mac, does that say what I think it does? You been holding back on me. That breaks Squibb's record.
Squib?
Jebediah Squibb, the Cajun catcher he calls himself. Last week at the Deadnettle docks, Squibb caught the heaviest Pencosa on record. Got his photograph on the front page of the newspaper and everything.
McAllen! How does it feel to have decimated the town record in your first few hours on the island?
How did you hear about this so fast?
It's my job to know about things fast. Now, I'm asking the questions here. Where'd you get the fish, McAllen?
Well, it was a mighty battle on the southern coast. Its fins strong as a motor, its mouth as fierce as a tiger's. I paused dramatically to allow my fishing prowess to wash over them.
What rod did you use?
Wooden one?
I mean, what make?
You know, I didn't use a rod.
You caught the fish without a rod?
It was more one-on-one. Mono, fisho.
You wrestled a fish?
And I won.
Well, as much as it pains me to say it, you're the cover story in the next edition of the Juniper Parish Gazette. And this is why I'm not getting a Pulitzer.
I've got to hand it to you, Mac. That fish is a whopper. I don't know how you got it, but as long as it keeps Squib quiet at the porch party tomorrow, I ain't complaining.
Hey, Ned, do you mind if I borrow your knife?
If you need it, Mac, just bring it back to me later tonight, would you? If I'm lucky with my catch, I'll be firing up the grill. You're invited to join me, of course.
Murphy! Have you seen the cover of the evening edition? I think we caught your personality perfectly in that photograph. Naive, simple, unsophisticated. Makes it all the more surprising that you actually accomplished something.
I wonder if I should have it framed.
That'll cost you.
I remember your trick with the telegram.
Hey, it's nothing personal. Your business is my business, and my business is news. I'm Evelyn Stoker, editor of the Juniper Parish Gazette. No misdeed left unshared, no drama left unmonetized. Come on, work with me here, McAllen. I need something juicy. Committed any crimes? Uncovered any affairs? Any deep, personal secrets to reveal?
The honest-to-God truth? No.
I need a good story. I can't let something minor like the truth stand in the way of that.
I picked up the twine. With her stunt at the bayou, I figured she owed me one. I picked up the scissors. Maybe she owed me two. I'd like to buy a newspaper.
Finally, I get something out of you loitering in here. That'll be 1 cent, please.
I picked up the newspaper. The fewer people that saw it, the better. The headline read, "Island Newcomer Breaks Fishing Record," with my photograph printed in black and white. I placed the dime into the gree-gree. That would work as the silver coin. Carefully, I cut my photograph out of the newspaper. It was the photograph of myself I'd cut out of the newspaper. I wish I'd posed better.
Yes?
Hi. Did you know Comptroller Grimes?
How could I forget him? The guy was a walking, talking migraine generator.
Surely you shouldn't speak of the dead like that.
Why not? I spoke plenty worse about him when he was alive. Anyway, I'm sure everything happens for a reason. And hopefully that reason is to increase my circulation numbers. Everything's connected, you know. Have you ever heard of the butterfly effect? I suspect it works for moths, too, because I can never get the damn things out of here. Some people say that if a man breaks wind in Alabama, it can cause a hurricane in Fiji.
I think I shared a train car with that guy on my way here. What are you working on?
One of the most romantic articles this newspaper's ever seen. Francois Fogg, Deadnettle's local pharmacist, is reuniting with his long-lost love after 14 years apart, thanks to this newspaper's personal ads column.
What a lovely story.
That's right. She mailed in a letter she wanted printed. Her former sweetheart saw it, and now they're on track to see each other again. Eventually.
Eventually?
Well, that's a bit of an administrative issue. In the letter we received, she told him to meet her in her Texas hometown of Magnolia. Due to a tiny typesetting error, he's now on a 6-week voyage to Mongolia. But doesn't it warm your heart how far people will go for love?
I think I better be going.
Keep your eyes peeled for a story, McAllen. There are secrets on the island. And it's my job to run advertisements next to them.
Oh, my second customer of the night. I don't know if I can handle such a rush. Welcome, young man, to Doubloon's Jewelry. Oh, the riches to fill your breeches. Jewels, silver, gold, the finest things for you to behold. Whom do I have the pleasure of meeting?
My name's Murphy McAllen.
Oh, a pleasure to meet you. My name's Jasper Crumb, owner and proprietor. Are you looking for something valuable while you're here on the island?
Funnily enough, I am.
Is there a special someone in your life? Looking for an apology gift, perhaps? I've sold more missed anniversary necklaces and drunken fumble earrings than I can count.
No, I don't need anything like that.
Then how about something for yourself? You look like a working man. Could I interest you in a pocket watch?
Actually, I had one up until about an hour ago. Traded it to a glowing green guy for a magic pouch. As the words left my lips, I realized I sounded like a character from Jack and the Beanstalk.
Pardon me?
I'm just here to browse.
Browse away, young man. I'll be here if you need me.
I inspected the carving. Its woodworm-dotted surface and water-stained edges suggested it had once been much more than a decorative piece in a jewelry store. There was no way I could carry a fishbowl full of water and a live goldfish around with me. Good evening, Mr. Crumb.
How can I help you?
What's the carving on the front of your counter?
That is the genuine stone carving of the Golden Goose, the famous brigantine. I could trace my family's history on the island back hundreds of years, right back to the ship's owner, Captain Bartholomew Crumb. You've heard of him, I expect.
Captain Crumb, the vicious pirate? I read about him as a child.
One of the most successful in the Caribbean. That is, until, as the story goes, he got pursued by a ghost ship.
A ghost ship? Surely that can't be more than a legend.
Then how do you explain this? Without a single shot fired, every sailor aboard his ship fell down dead, victims of an evil pirate who wielded a black stone. Captain Crumb was the sole survivor. He escaped undetected in a rowboat, and after days at sea, made it to this very island. After that, he never went to sea again. Instead, he set up this shop with the one chest of jewels he'd managed to carry away. Some of the gems you see around here still date back to that final hoard.
A black stone killed the crew?
Well, so the story goes. I suppose it explains my family's obsession. Not just the gold and jewels that tempt us, but the wicked stones that threaten us.
I'm looking for lost treasure.
I'd say you found it. Everything inside these four walls is a treasure, handmade to the finest quality.
I mean a specific treasure. The lost treasure of Bellemore Manor.
Well, if you find it, bring it in here for an appraisal. I'll give you a good price for it. But that's a pretty big if, isn't it?
I think I'll just look around for now.
I'm here if you need me.
Even if I could reach it, it was probably better for the jeweler to operate equipment like that. Excuse me, would you be able to polish a brooch for me?
Let me take a look. Oh, well, 18-karat yellow gold, filigree wirework in a handcrafted floral motif, and round, brilliant cut ruby, if I'm not mistaken, made to fit a music box?
That's right. How did you know that?
I know my own handiwork anywhere. Now, how did you get a hold of it?
Oh, just a gift.
What a generous gift indeed. Well, we do offer free polishings on all items purchased here, so I'd be very happy to shine her up for you. Please, bear with me for a moment. There we go, shining like a firefly's rear end. I'm afraid the clasp on the back has broken off. You weren't planning on wearing it soon, were you?
I wasn't planning on wearing it at all.
There's no shame in indulging yourself every once in a while. Lord knows I can appreciate the comfort and empowerment a pair of hosiery can bring. Anyway, we don't have any replacement clasps in stock, but I can put it in order. In the meantime, here's a button magnet that should hold it in place, as long as you're not too vigorous with it.
Thank you. I reached up to the cow skull and dislocated its grisly jaw. I placed the jawbone into the gree-gree. I touched the back of the photograph to the molasses. Thanks to the stickiness of the molasses, the photograph adhered nicely to the captain's license. I thought I should introduce myself first. Good evening. He looked past me like I was invisible, as though if he ignored me hard enough, there was a chance I'd disappear. I said good evening?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were talking to me.
There's no one else here.
Wishful thinking on my part. Have you taken a wrong turn, sir?
I'm just having a look around.
Well, make it a quick one, and I shall need to know your name.
Murphy McAllen, and who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
My name is Felix Greer, maitre d', bartender, and acting manager of the Captain's Club. When Mr. Perkins has the night off?
I'm looking for the lost treasure of Bellemore Manor.
Oh, goody! Another young adventurer seeking fame, fortune, or some combination of the two. Just the local color Deadnettle has been lacking.
I best be casting off.
Don't feel the need to rush back, sir.
My credentials.
You're telling me you are a captain?
I trust it's all in order.
I thought you said your name was Murphy McAllen.
That's right.
Then why does this say Captain Nutt?
It's a pseudonym for marketing purposes. You've got to stand out nowadays. A cool name's a good way to do that. You didn't think Captain Hook was called Hook before the hand incident, did you? What would the odds of that have been?
Look, Sonny, the bylaws of this club only allow the club manager to verify a captain's license. And Mr. Perkins is enjoying his backgammon soiree with Mrs. Perkins and the ladies this evening, with strict instructions not to be disturbed. So I'll accept this for tonight, but try this again tomorrow night and it'll be another story. Now, with that said, a warm and hearty welcome to the Captain's Club. We sincerely hope you make use of and enjoy our facilities, and do please let me know if I can be of any assistance at all. We don't open for another hour, but if you'd like, you can head up now to acquaint yourself.
I picked up the cube of billiard chalk from the edge of the table. I placed the chalk into the gree-gree. The ceiling fans were on. I didn't want to lose the rum I'd collected. I needed it for the gree-gree. I poured the rum into the gree-gree. I filled the bottle with water from the fountain. With the newly polished brooch gleaming, I angled it towards the lantern, catching the light and reflecting a red beam on the wall. I took a handful of the spilled gunpowder. I placed the gunpowder into the gree-gree. I cut into the sack with the knife, revealing it to be full of corn. I took the corn from the sack. I scattered the corn on the path. Mere seconds later, it attracted the attention of the curious chicken. I was glad nobody had seen that. I may have known how to handle a chicken drumstick, but wrestling the living version was altogether different. If the chicken didn't want me to touch it, perhaps a blast of air could do the trick.
Anything to report?
I'm keeping my eyes open. Delicately, I dipped the feathers into the canister of ink. When they emerged, they were dyed jet black. I placed the feathers into the gree-gree. I tied the twine to the uneven table and took up a hiding spot behind a nearby wall. It was time to wake the dead.
Hello? Hello? Why is it so dark in here?
Huh? Who's that?
I'm stuck! Help! Help!
Mallory, if that's you again.
Get me out of this thing!
Oh no, not again. Mister, are you okay? I'm so sorry. I was told... Mister? Oh, God darn it! Next time I see that girl, I'm gonna have a pee-wee-sized coffin all ready for her. A few hours locked in one of those should adjust her sense of humor.
I picked up the handful of discarded coffin nails from the tin. I placed the coffin nails in the gree-gree. I'd done it. All 7 ingredients for the summoning spell. Now I needed to head back to the Spirit Queen.
I thought I'd find you out here, McAllen.
Evelyn, lovely to see you out in the bayou again.
This will be the last time, McAllen. I'm not your secretary. I don't know what you're up to out here, but I'll figure it out soon enough. But for now, let's hurry it up. These shoes are alligator skin, and I don't want the local fauna recognizing an old friend. Another telegram came through for you, marked urgent. Kip said you might be out here.
My boss again?
Got it in one.
McAllen, report back immediately. Received word Grimes is deceased. Lack of resources has made this a waste of time. And I've cottoned onto your little stunt with the Friday signatures. When you get back here, sorting mail is gonna be the least of your worries. Sid Sinclair Auditing Company.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. On a night when I'd just seen a ghost, this telegram was almost more unbelievable. There was more to the Bellemore story than I could have ever imagined. Now I was being pulled away to a job I didn't want to work, and a life I didn't want to live. Maybe it was time to do something a little foolish. Do I still have that prepaid reply?
Sure do. What do you want it to say?
Tell him I quit. I couldn't believe what I'd done. I'd quit my job and opened the first chapter in my own adventure. But without a job, I didn't have a salary. Without a salary, I wouldn't have a place to live. And it suddenly became more important than ever that I find that treasure. For me this time.
Murphy, have you found all 7 ingredients?
I have.
Wonderful! Now it is time for the final step. Out of the darkness, the sadness, the fear, I command you, my servant, now to appear.
I have returned, Master. What is your desire?
The ingredients have been gathered. The final step of the spell is ready. The focus.
The focus of the spell is whatever you are casting it upon. Bellemore Manor is where the ghosts reside. An image of Bellemore Manor is what you must use to direct the spell.
Murphy, do you have an image of Bellemore Manor we can use? Yes, Murphy, that will work. Place it inside the gree-gree as the final ingredient.
I folded the magazine cover and placed it inside the gree-gree.
The spell is ready. Finally, the ghosts will be free again. Open the gree-gree, Murphy, and that will cast the spell.
With some trepidation, I took the gree-gree from my pocket and with a deep breath, opened it.
At last, I am free.
Servant, what's happening?
I was never your servant.
I am your master. You shall do my bidding, I command you.
Foolish mortal, you have served your purpose. No longer do I need to manifest as an ephemeral specter. Now my true spirit form is freed.
Loa, do as I say.
You are of no more use to me.
I wasn't sure what I'd just seen, but the voodoo fire raging all around me was all too real. I needed to get out, and fast. As I opened my eyes, I realized I had no idea where I was. Hello? Hello? This wasn't good. I checked my hands and still seemed to be flesh and blood. What's happening? Where am I?
Welcome back to Bellemore Manor, Murphy McCallum. We didn't expect to see you again so soon.
What's going on? Am I dead?
Don't be so overdramatic, Murphy. You're still very much alive. But you're the only person in the house that is. I'm afraid your actions have caused a good bit of trouble for us inhabitants of the house.
What's happened?
Let's see if you can figure it out. We're about to play a song, and Murphy McCallum, this one is for you. All right, all you Bellemore Manor ghosts and ghouls, let's take it to a place where voodoo rules.
Know what you've done. A house of spirits, but we know of one with evil intentions, and now no preventions to all their evil scheme. You're now implicated in this complicated supernatural dream. You cast the spell, now the deed is done. Evil's free, the plan has just begun. Without your detection, we'll have no protection from the Machiavellian game. You set them loose, so you have to deduce who is ill and who is to blame. And self-detested, we'll ask you questions 3. Draw on clues to solve the mystery. The lover, the poor, the devil. another. Tell us now, who is the lover?
I think the sailor was the lover.
Someone in love, and their love is true. Is it return? What is there to do? They're caught in the middle of baffling riddles. Is love what can carry them through? A sunset life, no chance for dawn. Tell us now, who is the pawn?
I think the bride was the pawn.
But in some evil curse, immersed in voodoo and things perverse. She cannot protest, and her mind's not possessed of things that only get worse. Wicked spirits in evil rebel. Tell us now, who is the devil?
I think the officer was the devil.
Control. Black magic powers got things he stole. But maybe it's setback, but he's gonna get back, and we'll worry that goes. Now let's go. Maybe you listened and now you've done it. You took a gamble and you have won it. A bride in a spell and a sailor's farewell. An officer pulling the strings. A house that's filled with voodoo. And yes, we know like you do. To fix it, we'll take some strange things. To test it, we asked you questions 3. You drew clues and solved the mystery. The officer, bride, and the sailor all died. Questions surrounded in doubt. The lover, the pawn, the devil are gone. Murphy, you figured it out. And there's too much. The foolish boss find treasures trapped in hidden vaults. You may think you are done, but it's all just begun. It's time for the ghostly debut. So say trick or treat, 'cause there's a goal to defeat. And Murphy, we hope that you do. Or guess what? You'll have to lie to have to die too.
I was back in Bellemore Manor, and although it was better than being dead, I didn't know what was awaiting me.